Hey boys and girls, it's Taco Tuesday. No, I'm just kidding. But it is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. If you look at today's assignments, we're going to reread the passage titled The Early History of Flight and answer the comprehension questions. You're going to read to self for 20 minutes and fill out that stop and jot form. Complete 10 minutes of iReady reading. Complete the next lesson on Zearn, which should be lesson 2 today. Practice your multiplication facts on extramath.org and complete 10 minutes of iReady Math. Let's start with your reading comprehension passage today. So let me pull that up for you. You're going to have to read the early history of flight. So I read this yesterday. I want you to try to read it today. I do know it's a little bit of a tougher passage, but hopefully with my help yesterday, you'll be able to read that okay. But before you do, remember my trick. Read the questions first. So you're looking for what was the problem with the first flying machine. So be looking as you're reading, what's the first flying machine and what was the problem with it? According to the article, what was the outcome of the glider flight in 1005? So look for 1005 and focus in on that and see if you can find the outcome of the glider flight. How were two glider flights mentioned in the third paragraph different? Focus in on the third paragraph, boys and girls, and find out how those two flights were different that they talked about in the third paragraph. And in what year was the first hot air balloon invented? So you're looking for the keywords hot air balloon and first, and you're going to try to figure out what year the first hot air balloon first came about. So you guys should be able to do that. I know you can. You're super smart. So we're going to go back here. I want to focus in on math today. So I'm going to do the Zearn lesson with you. So once you've completed your stop and jot and your 10 minutes of iReady reading, you're going to start your math assignments. You have Zearn Math, Extra Math, and iReady Math. So I'm going to walk you through Zearn Math. So let me pull it up for you. So here's Zearn Math. I've already done the number gym today, but I'm going to do the pair compare because I thought that was a little tricky yesterday when I did it. So here we go, boys and girls. It's just loading. Give it 1 minute. Pair compare. Pick the correct symbol to compare the values. You have 60 seconds. Ooh, wish me luck, boys and girls. Here we go. So 1/2, is it greater than, less than, or equal to 1? Well, it must be what? Less than 1. 2 halves would be the same. When the numerator and the denominator are the same, it's 1 whole. When the numerator is bigger than the denominator, then you have more than 1. So that means that 3 halves will be bigger than 1. 1/3 will be less than 1. 3/3, same numerator, same denominator. It means it's equal to 1. The numerator is bigger, so that's going to be bigger than 1. That's going to be less than 1. It's going to be equal to 1. Bigger numerator. It's going to be bigger than 1. Remember, the alligator eats the bigger number. Less than 1. Oh, and it says time's up. You got a 10. So you can keep practicing that if you want, or you can go ahead and go to the next, which would be the lesson today. So let's see what the lesson looks like today. Here we go. Sorry, boys and girls, my internet's a little slow today. I'm not quite sure why. It says 1 represents 2. Let's see. What are we learning? Ooh, it looks like maybe ice cream again. Super excited.
What's up, Math All-Stars? Today we surveyed a classroom just like yours to find out everyone's favorite ice cream flavor so that we know how much of each flavor to buy for an ice cream party. We tallied the results and put them on a picture graph. Let's check it out.
Boys and girls, what was your favorite ice cream flavor from yesterday? I know I picked the cookies and cream. Curious to hear what your favorite ice cream is. All right, here we go. It says favorite ice cream flavors. This is your title. And then it says, always pay attention to the key, boys and girls. Sometimes it might say that each of these symbols represents 2 students. So be careful. This one says 1 student, but just be careful of that. Always check your key. This is called your key. So it says, which ice cream flavor did most students choose as their favorite flavor? Let's see. It looks like chocolate was the favorite flavor because it has the most ice cream cones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many students chose chocolate? Well, we just counted. 6. Here we go again.
Nice job reading the picture graph. Are you ready to look at a different one? We surveyed another class to find out their favorite ice cream flavors too. This class has more students in it, so to fit all the data on one graph, we made each ice cream cone represent
There's
2
that
students.
key, boys and girls.
How many students chose chocolate as their favorite flavor?
So if you look, boys and girls, if each of these represents 2, you're going to count by 2s for chocolate. So there's 3 of them, but count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, or 3 times 2 is 6. Let's see. Let's think about the bar graph to find how many students chose chocolate. How many students does each cone in the picture graph represent? Each cone represents 2 students. 2 students. So how many are in the chocolate column? You just counted those with me. 2, 4, 6. Or 3 times 2 is 6. What does it say? Oh, how many cones? Whoops! I'm telling you how many there are altogether. I get it. There's only 3 cones, but you count the cones by 2. See, Mrs. Smith even has a hard time with these sometimes. 2, 4, 6. Well, now you'll know when you do it today, boys and girls. You won't make the same mistake. So, how many students chose chocolate as their favorite flavor? 6.
There are 3 cones in the chocolate column, and each cone represents 2 students. So we can skip count to find out how many students chose chocolate. 2, 4, 6 students.
Yeah. We can also multiply 3 times 2 to find the number of students who chose chocolate. The number of cones, 3, is the number of groups, and the number of students per cone, 2, is the size of each group. 3 times 2 equals 6. 6 students chose chocolate as their favorite flavor.
That's right. Let's look at this graph some more.
See what's next. So how many students chose cookie and cream as their favorite? So find cookies and cream. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cones. Each cone represents 2 students. So you could say 4 times 2 equals what? Or you could count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's see if I got it right this time. Yay! Woohoo! So now it says try another one. Which ice cream flavor did students choose the least of? Which one has the least amount of cones? Looks like what? Strawberry. There's only 1 there. So let's see. So how many students chose strawberry? Well, if each one represents 2, there's how many students here? 2. You guessed it. Good job. So, we have classroom A and classroom B. How many students chose vanilla in classroom A? So let's look. Here's classroom A. Here's vanilla. Each cone represents 1 student. Do you see how I read the title? And then I found my vanilla, my flavor, and then I came right to the key. Each cone represents 1 student. So if this represents 1, there's 1, 2. So we're going to put 2 in that box. And then it says students chose vanilla in classroom B. So here's classroom B, and here's our vanilla, and it says each cone represents 2 students. There's 2 here, so 2, 4, or 2 times 2 is 4. Do you see how the graphs look the same but can be different based on their keys? Pay close attention to the keys, boys and girls, when you're doing graphs.
Let's take a closer look at that one. How many students chose vanilla ice cream as their favorite flavor?
Both graphs have 2 cones in the vanilla column. In the first graph, 1 cone represents 1 student. So 2 students chose vanilla. In the second graph, each cone represents 2 students. So 4 students chose vanilla as their favorite flavor.
Nice thinking. Even though both graphs have 2 cones, the cones represent different values. It is important to remember the value of a unit in a graph. Are you ready to try one more? We surveyed one final classroom. Just like before, each ice cream cone will represent 2 students. Can you make the graph this time?
All right, boys and girls, so here we go. Ready? It says create a picture graph using the data in the table. The value of each cone is 2 students. So each cone is going to represent 2 students, okay? So if you come here, it says favorite ice cream flavor is chocolate, and we find chocolate. There's 4 total students, but if each cone represents 2, if I hit the click sign, there's 1 cone, so that's how many? 2. Let's hit the plus sign. Now how many do I have? 2, 4. Okay, so 4. So we don't want to go any bigger than that because we have 4. Vanilla, there was only 2 students. So how many vanilla cones am I going to need? 1. Cookies and cream, there was 6. So think, what times 2 equals 6? Let's go over here. Ready? 2, 4, 6. Mint chip, there was 8. So what times 2 equals 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. And last but not least is strawberry. There's 4 students. What times 2 equals 4? 2, 4. All right, boys and girls, let's see how we did. Woohoo! We did it. All right, so it says, which 2 flavors did the same number of students pick as their favorite? So which one has the same? Look at your graph. Did these 2 have the same? No. Did this one and this one have the same? No. Looks like chocolate has 2, 4, and strawberry has 2, 4. So I'm going to go with chocolate. The same number of students picked chocolate and strawberry as their favorite ice cream. Here we go. Great job. So then it says how many more students chose mint chip than cookies and cream. Remember? So you find mint chip and we find cookies and cream. Which one has more? Mint chip does. So we're going to start there. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. And in cookies and cream, there's only 2, 4, 6. So we could say 8 minus 6 equals what? 2. So 2 more students chose ice cream. Chose the mint. All right, boys and girls, and then all you have left to do today is the Tower of Power. I won't walk you through that because I'll let you figure that out on your own. That's more of an independent practice for you, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Make sure when you get done today, you check out those resources if you're looking for something more to do. Other than that, boys and girls, have a terrific Tuesday, and don't forget to tune back in tomorrow. Bye, boys and girls.